keep my...
Hello everyone, welcome back to Coaching Fire. David, your coach here, and I'm super excited as today we're going to go over our budget for May. So I know it's a little bit into June already and we've had a tough time getting this video out, so thanks for bearing with us as I know we're a little bit late posting the budget. But we do have some big news, and that is we are kind of in the process of moving. We're heading to a new city in China. We're going to say goodbye to sunny Sanya and hello to international Suzhou, I guess. It's just a bigger city up near Shanghai, and due to work and other reasons, we're just going to go up there and try again, have a new job, and start in a new life, a new chapter of life, I should say. So yeah, here we go. As you can see, our expenses this month are a lot higher than normal, and we did break our budgets. We're trying to stay about like 10,500, and we ended up being about 11,000, and that's because there's some things that happened to us, and ended up costing us some money, and I'll go over those in our video. But as you guys probably know, life always has unexpected expenses, and no matter how well you budget, you just can't plan for that. And so in our budget, I do actually plan for monthly expenses that we call others, because there seems to be something every month that we don't really have a name for, but that we're having to pay for. So sometimes we're putting money into something that broke, or sometimes we have to put money into other things, and it's just like it doesn't happen all the time, so it doesn't make sense to make it a category of your budget. But it does happen enough with enough things that you could put them all together and kind of call it like a miscellaneous or an others category. So we do plan for that, but again, we still went over because there was quite a few things that happened. So yeah, let's just get started, and I'll take us through it. Our first one is the household. Our household budget was so big this month because on top of rent, we had to pay the management fee. In China, you pay the management fee for the whole year. So we actually got away with paying for just half a year because we do plan on leaving in July, so we pay January through July. But it did add up to being quite a bit. So normally our budget for rent is 2,500, and we went a little bit over because of having to pay that management fee. Again, it's like a one-off. We would pay it once and then we would be done. But yeah, that was just happened to be in this month. And we also had the $50 for miscellaneous. That was all of my power banks. Apparently I had a tough time keeping my phone charged this month, so I kept renting these power banks, and it added up to quite a bit. I think that had to do with just a lot of work and just not being at home enough to charge my phone, I guess. I don't know. But our second largest expense, which we often is our first largest expense, is food. Again, like I said in all of our past budget videos, I really enjoy good food. It's one thing that I kind of splurge on here in China, especially when I want to eat some Western food. If you want to find like good pizzas, hamburgers, steaks, basically anything that we like that's not noodles or rice, you end up having to pay a lot for it. We found a new burger shop that's really, really delicious, and we went there, and then we took friends there, and then we took other friends there, so it ended up adding up to a lot. And we also had some dinner parties to start saying goodbye to people, because as we go on to our new city, we're saying bye-bye to our friends here in Sanya, and it's a kind of nice to take them out and treat them to a good meal. So we've been doing some dinners as well where we're paying for the whole bill for a lot of people. So our budget did get extended. Also, the coffee went up a lot. That was because I got into a bad habit of drinking Starbucks. I'd done it earlier, maybe 2 years ago. I was drinking a lot of Starbucks, and I kind of broke the habit and was drinking at home all the time. Drinking coffee at home all the time. I wasn't drinking at home all the time. And then recently I was going to work, and there's a Starbucks nearby, and I just kind of got into this habit of grabbing one. I'm like, oh, it's not so bad, just once. But it kind of trickles this snowball, and yeah, I kind of fell down the slippery slope, but I hope I pulled myself back out. We'll see how the coffee looks next month. I like to stay around 200, so it's not so bad. And if I don't have to buy anything, if I have all the beans and I don't really go out for coffee, I can get it really low to about like 50 RMB or so. But even buying the beans can put us up at about 200, even to make it at home. But that's a cup of coffee every day versus when I go to Starbucks, I'm only getting one once. So I do prefer to do the home route, even though it seems expensive. You're getting a lot more for your money than you do when you go out to these cafes. So that's hopefully something we can fix in the next month. And yeah, other than that, everything seemed pretty normal. I didn't go out for many drinks, and we didn't really do too much other things. So just those burgers were at the lunchtime, and then we had the dinners where we were treating people, and then the coffee was really the biggest bill. So this is our others category. Like I told you guys before, I do budget for other things. I didn't put the housing fee in here, even though that is something that doesn't happen every month. And that's just because it's directly related to the house. And I like to throw it into the category it belongs to. Just so, the others I want to be stuff that doesn't happen very often or it doesn't really have a select category. So I felt like the Wu in all my past budgets, I also put it into the housing category specifically because it's directly linked to renting the house. But here we have others. There's a lot of things that happened. One thing was I got in a motorcycle accident, an e-bike accident. So it's an electric motorcycle. It's not an electric bicycle. They're very common in China. It's like a moped of sorts. It looks like a Vespa and it runs on batteries. And I got in an accident and we ended up paying the people. It's a long story, very long story. You guys don't want to hear it. It's kind of interesting, but we ended up paying them, so that added to this. And then there was also a bunch of YouTube gear, which you guys have seen me set up, and when I built the new studio, and all of that kind of went into this budget as well. It's not terrible because I did feel like I got a lot for it, but it is something that I said, like, it doesn't happen a lot. I won't be buying YouTube gear every month. I won't be getting in e-bike accidents every month, hopefully. I guess you could argue I could put the e-bike into the e-bike category, but actually the money I paid wasn't for fixing my bike or even, it had really nothing to do with my bike. I was paying the other people, and it's just kind of the way that China works. When you are in an accident with somebody, you guys just kind of work it out yourselves and just kind of pay each other what you think the damage is and then sort it out that way. And like I said, long story, but basically I felt like it didn't belong to the bike. You could argue that it does, but I felt like it could go into others. If it was a direct fix, like if I had to fix something on my bike, like the tire or the side or something, then I would put it more towards the bike category. I just felt like because this one didn't go into my bike, it didn't help my bike in any way. I feel like I should put it in others, and I did. The next biggest was our America fee, which, as you guys know from our last videos, those are usually the transfer credits, or sometimes if I do like a marathon race, or back when I was in university, I had to pay some university bills. But basically, the transfer credits are what got us, and I'm not disappointed by that. That means that I was sending money home, and I did. I sent a lot back. I have a lot of our cash cushion in China. A lot of our emergency funds are here. And when I saw the markets going down and everything started to crash, I wanted to send some extra back and kind of dollar cost average in. And that's what I've been doing. So it was very nice to be able to send that back. Even though I had to pay an extra fee here, I feel like it's been beneficial because as I've seen the market steadily been declining and it's been a good opportunity to buy. So transfer credits means I'm saving money, so paying this fee doesn't bother me at all. So our next big one that also is bigger than it should be is our electricity and phone bill. The reason that the utility budget is so small is because in the winter, we hardly ever buy electricity. We buy like 300 and it'll last about 3 to 4 or 5 months. Basically the whole winter we just buy it once. And then in the summer, I usually have to put 300 or 200 in almost every month because we're running the ACs. So the electricity bill here is a lot bigger, but I feel like it over the annual budget, it's going to even out. And then the phone bill as well. It's like I paid 300 now, but 300 will last me for 3 months. So it's roughly the same. It's like it's just unfortunate they all fell together in the same month. But that does happen. It happens about every 3 months. I can have the bills all line up, and then it makes it look much higher. But in the annual perspective, it's not that bad. So our next biggest category was the transportation. And you guys can see we did spend a bit on the taxis, which were just to get around. I think a few nights we were going to go out drinking, hang out with some friends. Like I said, we were doing those goodbye parties. And I didn't want to be driving my bike because that's unsafe and illegal. So we would just take the taxi there instead. And then also, the reason the e-bike got so high is the batteries are starting to get a little bit bad on it, so we're charging it like twice a day almost. And also, we lost one of our helmets. Someone stole a helmet, so we had to buy a new helmet, and that just kind of made things rise. But most of the time, it's not this high, and I think this will go back down next month. And our last piece of the budget was going to be our entertainment. We have done a few things that were, I guess, in our entertainment budget. It's kind of like our spending cash, the things that we like to do. The music bill is consistently there, and the shopping was, I bought something, and then the fun, of course, we like to have fun. So as you can see, we still had a lot left here. I think it was because we spent a lot in other places, like those dinners and everything. That kind of counted towards our fun or our spending cash. And you just internally, when you're spending more than you normally do. So I feel like we kind of drew back on other areas of our life because we knew we paid this bill. It often crossed my mind, like, oh, we just paid the housing management fee. Oh, I just was in a bike accident. I had to pay the other people. So it's like I didn't spend as much as I could here. But it doesn't by any means mean that we were trying to cut back our fun and think, oh, we need to strip this from our lives, because as many people know, this is a very important part of reaching FIRE, especially for us and many other people. It's like you don't want to just be a robot who works for 10 hard years and you just grind, because you'll deplete yourself and you'll ruin the idea of FIRE and you'll ruin your passion for it. It is great to have fun along the way as long as you're able to accomplish both tasks. You save a little bit for your FIRE goal as well as enjoying your life. So this just happened to be that our fun things were intertwined with other categories of our life. So like I said, the dinners and whatnot. So it's like we didn't really mark them under the fun category, but we still were enjoying time out with friends and having fun. So that does it for the expenses. And now we can take a look at the income. As you can see, our income was about 34,366, and that was between the two of us. It's been a pretty low month compared to normal, but we had the COVID lockdown in April, so then the May salaries were pretty low, and I just have a feeling it's going to kind of continue. We didn't really get back to work in full yet. And that's part of the reason why we decided to pursue new careers and look for new jobs, and which is why we are moving houses now. So I do expect kind of a lower salary for the next month or two, and then hopefully over the summer we can pick it back up and be back to where we were before. But we can go over some of these numbers now and see how things look and what our savings rate is. Thanks again for joining us today. I hope you guys really enjoyed going over the budget with me. I know I enjoyed it. Any comments or questions you guys have, feel free to put them down below. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. And of course, you can share with your friends too if you wanted. You guys enjoyed, and see you next time on Coaching F.I.R.E. Bye-bye. Subscribe, share, and like.